of the biggest controversies today is to do with the remarks made by Bharatiya Janata Party spokespersons with regards to Prophet Muhammad, which has invited a lot of trouble for India in many ways than one from the Islamic world. But there is one lawmaker who has come out in support of Nupur Sharma. I'm talking about Dutch MP Geert Wilders, who's come out and said that she should not be apologetic. In fact, nor should India. Mr. Wilders, thank you so much for joining us here in India today. Why do you say what you say? Why have you come out in support of Nupur Sharma? And then we'll talk about the ramifications you've faced because of your statement.
Yes. Well, first, it's a pleasure to be on your show today. And indeed, I support Nupur Sharma because I believe that nobody should be punished or apologize for speaking the truth. And we might like it, we might dislike it, but she spoke the truth about Muhammad. And it's so unfair for people who speak the truth, maybe on such an issue, that her party, Muslims threaten her with her life, and especially Islamic countries threaten India, also with boycotts and ask for excuses to be made. And I believe that's really ridiculous. We should never give in to such a threat, especially where most, if not all, of the Islamic countries are the biggest hypocrites on earth. Look at their track record when it comes to human rights. They have the worst track record of human rights, whether it's about freedom or women or journalists like yourself or Jews or Christians or Hindus. And they get the worst treatment in their own country. So they are hypocrites. They should not criticize India or any other democracy. India is a democracy, unlike most of the Islamic countries. They should be criticized. They should not criticize us. We should criticize them.
Right. But the issue over here, again, Mr. Wilders, is a little sensitive one. It's not about who's speaking truth or not. It is also about the manner in which one speaks. Now, demeaning language against any religion should not be accepted in public platforms, especially when one holds a very responsible position, don't you think?
Oh, one can have a different taste, whether it was sophisticated or not. And everybody is free. Every viewer is free to decide it themselves. But listen, freedom is at stake. The Netherlands, my own country, I'm the leader of the biggest opposition party in Holland, but also India, we are both democracies. And democracies means that we have a rule of law, that we have freedom, that we have courts who can decide if we overstepped the mark, and not mobs who threaten to kill somebody, not other countries who try to interfere in the sovereignty of the state of India. You are, unlike them, a democracy. And you can like, once again, or dislike what she says, but she has the right to speak out. And we should not, because once again, we will lose everything. We will lose our freedom of speech. We will lose our dignity. And we have values under which freedom of speech is maybe one of the most important ones. And I don't think, that people who are sensible, or countries that are sensible, who have, once again, the worst track record of human rights themselves, should tell us, order us what to do and demand excuses if we speak the truth. That is not how a democracy works. If they disagree with her, they can take her to court in India and the judge will decide. That is how a democracy works, not by threats to die or anything else.
You speak about democracy. We'll talk about that a little more. But before that, let me ask you about what you yourself have faced. Now, after your statements and your tweets, you yourself have received death threats. Is that correct? What really happened?
Yes. No, I did. In the last few days, since I supported Mrs. Nupur Sharma, I got many death threats from Muslims. Then again, 17 years ago, I got already fatwas for making a movie, fitna, about the Quran from Al-Qaeda, from the Pakistani Taliban. And I left my house 17 years ago and haven't been home since. I lived with my wife in army barracks and prison cells just to be safe. I know what I'm talking about. I know what Mrs. Sharma will probably have to face. She will probably lose her freedom, and her life will never be the same again. So I really, if somebody is happening things that are happening to her today, which is so unjust, I have to stand up and support her, because she did nothing wrong. And I know For 70 years, I lost my personal freedom. I can only move with
Could
a
you
police.
elaborate?